Good day, everyone. This is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and it's Saturday, the 10th of July, 2021, and this is the weekly technical analysis for the euro, the cable, and the Aussie dollar for the second week of July. Let's begin with the euro dollar. Euro was basically consolidating and stuck in range for last week. It started off by trying to test the 119, but was rejected and fell all the way back down to just below 118 before recovering and bouncing back up towards the weekly pivot of last week. So there could be further momentum to just drive it through the 119 level towards the next fib retracement at the 38 fib and with the 200 EMA as well. It's around the 119.19 area. And not sure whether it's going to be enough bullish momentum to break through, but likely it's going to pull back after hitting a key resistance here and consolidate, or could also return back to the 21 fib. So it's still stuck in the range as it's trying to recover after the FOMC statement a couple of weeks ago. And even after the FOMC minutes was released last Wednesday and confirming the discussion that was released, it only dipped slightly to below 118 before recovering back up. So we'll see if there's enough momentum to carry it through, but more than likely it's going to be continuing in the range with support still at the 118 and resistance at 119.20 area. And no major news this week, only some minor news with the final CPI on Friday. There are, however, a number of US related news. So those could trigger some movement throughout the week. Let's also take a look at the US dollar index, DXY, see how it reacted last week, and it did after a pullback lower and a dip on the Tuesday. It made a strong bounce and recovered back up to finally hit the swing high, previous swing high up here, before pulling back lower towards the end of the week. So just inversely correlated with the euro. And this week there could be also just further bearish momentum, but there is key support at the 38 fib retracement, 91.81, and there's also the 200 EMA. Resistance is at the 21 fib, and as well as this swing high area. There's also possibly, yes, possibly a bullish channel forming here. So that should also provide support in this region at this juncture at the 200 EMA as well as the 38 FIB. So we'll see if it's able to bounce off this area and recover back towards the 21 FIB. If it doesn't hold, then there is still support from the 55 EMA coming up and the 50 FIB area. That's going to be a key support area. All right, but meanwhile, it needs to just continue up in this bullish channel if it's trying to break out higher and eventually retest this swing high at the 93.45 area. Okay, let's back to the cable. Cable also pull back higher and on the Tuesday, and after hitting the 139, it was clearly rejected and fell back towards the lows, which still managed to provide support. And after struggling for a couple of days with doji and spinning top type, almost a hammer, it managed to make a strong recovery on Friday, all the way back up to the 139 level again. So this time there looks to be potential breakthrough for next week, early part of next week, maybe test the monthly pivot. But it will need a bit of strong driver to drive it back up towards the 140. There's not any major news, there's some minor news, CPI and jobs report on Thursday. So it could still consolidate within this range from the 138 to the monthly pivot around the 139.50 area. We can also take a fib from the recent fall and from this recent fall from the 140 level, and you'll see that it pulled back to retrace back to hit the 62 fib, and that was where it fell back, and now it has climbed back up to the 62 fib level again. And now if it does climb up higher and break through, it's likely going to target the 786. That's where the daily 55 EMA is. May spike through to the monthly pivot, but yeah, likely this is going to be the next resistance zone. Let's just draw this area here, this zone here. Okay, and of course the 140 is going to be a critical resistance. All right. Let's just also compare with what the euro did in the short-term fib with this swing move down, recent swing move down, and it has climbed back up to the 50-fib area now. So it does continue higher. The 119 is sitting right at the 62-fib retracement. And beyond that, there's the 786 right at the daily 200 EMA. So perhaps this zone could be the key resistance zone up here, right between the 119.20 and 119.34. All right. Let's move on to the Aussie dollar. And similar moves as well, rejection after climbing up, almost hitting the 0.76 round figure on the Tuesday, rejected lower. So a lot of strong moves on Tuesday and then rejection. And then continuing lower until the Friday where it managed to bounce and recover. Did not hit the 138 fib extension of this reversal move and trying to recover back towards 0.7500. So fell hard. This was the one that has fallen most and has not recovered that much on the Friday. Did not recover back to the weekly pivot. And from the recent swing move down, it did pull back past the 786 fib retracement to spike through the monthly pivot and to target the 0.76 before falling back down. So now it has climbed back up again, back above 21 fib, attempting to recover all the way back up to the 50 fib area. That's the resistance and confluence with the swing low here of the bigger fib. So that's a possible target for next week. And will be a key resistance along with the daily 200 EMA. All right, so next week's range is about 120 pips here. Support at the 0.74. So only minor news for Australia with a jobs report as well on Thursday. So we'll see whether the US news may trigger some of the movement on the dollar index and then inversely correlate with the other major pairs. All right, but there's some recovery for now, attempt to recover, and we'll see how far it can go before any further rejection and a drop of bearish momentum. Let's just take a quick look on the weekly time frames. Yeah, it's still sitting above the weekly 55 EMA for the Aussie dollar. For the cable, it's managed to climb up higher, stronger above the weekly pivot. for last week. So that looks like a stronger recovery there. And for the euro, it has climbed up to back up to the weekly pivot. And on the weekly time frame, it's sitting right on the weekly 55 as well. So although it did try to dip lower than the previous week, managed to recover back up. So still trying to hold some support, and we'll see if there's any stronger recovery for all these major pairs. So do check out my other videos on spot gold and dollar yen as well, and have a safe week and a good trading week, and cheers for now.